There are places on the path where the light bends strange and the world grows quiet in that way it does when something old is about to surface. You don't hear it first, you feel it, a shift in the air, a weight behind your ribs, a memory you never lived pressing against your spine like it wants to be known. That's where I was the day I realized my shadow wasn't trailing behind me. It was leading, not as fear, but as the part of me that sees patterns before they form, danger before it speaks, and truth before it has the courage to say its own name. This is the story of the moment my subconscious stepped out of the dark and showed me the road it had been walking long before I did. The shadow that walked ahead of me by changing winds. The sun lowered behind me and my shadow stretched forward, not thin, not simple, but thick as smoke, heavy as something that remembered more than I did. For a moment I stood still, sensing that strange shift in the air where memory presses close. The shadow leaned ahead of me, moving as if pulled by a knowing buried deeper than thought, a path my bones recognized before my mind did. Inside its shape, flickers stirred, blurred impressions like rooms half lit in dreams. My father's quiet grief, my mother's storms, old church walls that pressed in too tightly, all woven into the silhouette like threads in a darker fabric. As it reached the fallen cedar split by lightning years ago, its outline bowed with a familiar heaviness. That posture, I knew it. The weight of inherited hurt, bending a body that keeps walking anyway. I followed slowly, dust rising around my boots, the dusk deepening into iron blue. A thin line of smoke curled ahead, pale and restless. The shadow paused at its edge, trembling not in fear, but in recognition, as if it had waited years for this meeting. The smoke drifted into the silhouette, winding through its darkness like breath returning to a long-abandoned form. Patterns emerged, circles, spirals, ancestral marks, the language of people who learned to survive by listening to what the air refused to hide. I stepped closer, and the world fell perfectly silent. Not empty, but expectant, like a drum waiting for the first strike. The shadow turned its attention toward me, softening. Something in my chest loosened, as if a knot of old fear finally exhaled. The shadow withdrew, settling behind my heels with the relief of a protector who could finally rest. It had walked ahead not to frighten me, but to show me what I kept refusing to see, the shape of old wounds still steering my steps, even when I thought I had escaped their reach. I thought of all the years I mistook intuition for anxiety, sensing storms in people before they ever raised their voices. My shadow had been speaking, I just didn't know the dialect yet. It moved again briefly, and I watched its outline ripple across the dirt, like a river catching wind, like a memory resurfacing through water. It was showing me the bend in the path I always overlooked. Every time I ignored it, the shadow had stretched longer, darker, sharper, a guardian trapped in a story where it had no name. Every time I listened, it softened, shortened, became steady, a companion instead of a warning. The trees leaned in as if passing judgment or blessing. I couldn't tell which. Branches moved like slow fingers, their silhouettes merging with mine, as if the land itself remembered me. Dust spiraled at my feet, lifting in delicate swirls that looked almost intentional, like spirits rising from the ground to mark a place where someone's truth finally cracked open. The smoke ahead thickened for a heartbeat, rising in a tall, twisting column. It felt like walking toward an altar built from breath and memory. The smoke ahead thickened for a heartbeat, rising in a tall, twisting column. It felt like walking toward an altar built from breath and memory. My shadow stepped into it again, willingly, allowing the smoke to carve shapes inside it. Thin branches, hollow bones, the silhouettes of those who came before and refused to vanish. For a moment, it didn't look like a shadow at all. It looked like a doorway cut from dusk, a passage where instinct, memory, and prophecy braided together into something alive. I walked closer, heat rising through the ground, and felt something old shift inside me, a sensation like a drumbeat under the ribs, faint but unmistakable. My shadow eased back again, this time more gently, folding itself behind me like a cloak. It wasn't tired, it was trusting. The smoke thinned and drifted upward, its last ribbon catching the fading sun. In that light, I saw the truth. The shadow had been carrying stories my voice wasn't ready to speak yet. It carried warnings, yes, but also wisdom, and the subtle map of how to move without repeating the past. When I stepped forward again, the shadow followed at my heels, short, steady, content. As if relieved, I finally understood its purpose. The world softened around me, trees whispering, dust glowing, the sky dimming to gold, and everything felt aligned in a way I had never experienced before. So I whispered to the darkness behind me, not as a warning, but as a vow. Lead when the old wounds stir, follow when my courage rises. We walk this remembering together. And as the path opened wider, I felt a quiet truth settle into my bones. Not loud, not blazing, just steady as antlers growing in the dark. The shadow didn't vanish, it simply stepped beside me, no longer a warning, no longer a weight, just another way of seeing. The deer in me lifted its head, listening to the land breathe, listening to the drum beneath the soil, and for the first time I understood wholeness isn't the absence of darkness. It's learning how to walk with every part of yourself finally facing the same direction. So I pressed my palm to the fading light and whispered to the path ahead, I'm ready now. All of me walks from here. I don't ask because it's easy. I ask because I believe these words matter. Every story here, every frame, every line, every voice takes hours of life, love, and breath. I pour it in because I still believe art can move the needle and truth can outlast the noise. If these stories have lit something in you, help me keep the flame alive. Like it, share it, speak it forward, and if you can, help fuel the next fire. Patreon, patreon.com, Changing Winds Podcast. Ko-fi, ko-fi.com/Changing Winds Podcast. Cash App, Changing Winds Podcast. Venmo, at Changing Winds Podcast. Every spark matters. Every hand that reaches keeps the light alive. One planet, one family, one home.